Good evening, fuckers. We are back with yet another Train Simulator Classic request video. And this one is yet another of my ones. We don't need to go into why. I just felt like doing one. So for this one, we are going to do one of the longest runs I have within a single route DLC. So the route DLC in question is West Coast Main Line over Shap, and we are starting at Preston, and ultimately our finishing point is going to be Dumfries in Scotland. But that is a run that we can't do in one single journey, because in order to get there we first of all got to go to Carlisle, which is a terminus. Now, in real life, obviously, having reached Carlisle, the train would then reverse out around like a reversing loop and then go on to Dumfries that way. Now, that is not an option for us when we are using Quick Drive. So what we will do, we will take the initial part from Preston platform 2 to Carlisle platform 3. Then, having done that and all of the passengers have disembarked, the number 2 driver will then take us from platform 3 at Carlisle, move us to platform 7, and then we will then get the remaining passengers on board and set off from there to the final destination at Dumfries. So it's a journey of somewhere in the region of 125 miles. It's a fair distance. So the specifics for this: it is springtime. It is currently overcast. I say currently because I believe there is a chance that there will be some rain once we are setting off from Carlisle for the final part. I can tell you now, the last part is going to be raining. And the time is 1 o'clock. I've got to make a note of the time when we arrive at Carlisle. And our train, so we are going to be pulling 8 Mark 1 coaches, and the loco is a class 50. I do quite like the class 50, but it seems to have been ignored by pretty much everybody. It has appeared in a previous video, but that was another video that I chose. So it was also a route that the 50 never really did. I believe it was Bristol to Exeter. But this is a route that the 50 absolutely did. In fact, it was initially built specifically for this part of the West Coast Main Line, the part that had not yet been electrified from Crewe to eventually Glasgow. We are actually not going on the entire West Coast Main Line for some of this, because the section that takes us to Dumfries, I think you'll find that is not on the West Coast Main Line. Anyway, that is the setup. Let's get things underway. So, here we are. Yep, Carlisle platform 3, glorious class 50 here, with plenty of smoke pouring out of it, which was quite common for class 50s. Let's let any passengers who are remaining, give them a chance to get on board. While they are doing that, let's get this thing set up. So yeah, instrument lights all come on straight away. I cannot find any cab lights. That's the light switch for, yeah, the front lights. So yeah, I can't find cab lights anywhere. So I'm going to have to go on the assumption that there aren't any. So I hope things don't get too sort of like dark and overcast and what have you, because otherwise I'm going to end up with some real problems. I'm curious to see, that looks like another class 50 that's moving by over there. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, that is, actually it's a 47. There's another 47 there. But at least it's set in like the right sort of period. Got a lot of 47s around. Anyway, the doors are now shut. We are all set to go. Carlisle is 90.13 miles away. And that's only the first part of the journey. We're going to treat this as an express, but we're not going to do non-stop. So we will stop at Lancaster. That will do actually, yeah. So we'll stop at Lancaster. That's the only stop before Carlisle. So here we go. Get to see this glorious machine leaving the station. I do like the class 50. I think I was a bit harsh on it when I did my first video featuring this loco. It doesn't have the greatest of reputations, but that is at least in part to British Rail assigning it to roles that it was not even remotely suitable for. Now I felt certain we were going over those points. It said we're going over these ones here. I genuinely have no idea which direction it's taking us here. This way. We're going down the right. We'll very soon be in the 80 mile per hour zone. Here we are. Right, let's slow it straight into the top. So the Class 50, initially called the English Electric Type 4, built by English Electric. The first one was built in 1967. And yeah, as I said in the intro, it was really built for this section of the West Coast Main Line, the section which at the time had not been electrified. It was quite a large part of it actually. It was basically from Crewe northwards. And the design brief was that they wanted an express passenger loco that was capable of 100 mph, that used entirely standard parts. That was the really important bit, as we're now in a 110 mph zone. Because Yeah, at the time they did already have a high-speed express train that was capable of 100 mph, which was, of course, the class 55, the Deltic. But yeah, the Deltic was about as far removed from using standard parts as a loco could get. There was nothing standard about it. So, because the upkeep for it, you know, maintenance, repairs and what have you, were extremely expensive, because everything was having to be pretty much custom built for that loco alone. So they wanted something that used standard parts, so maintenance costs were a lot more affordable and spares would be easy to get hold of. And this is what we got. And when it comes to fulfilling its role from its design brief, it was absolutely fantastic. Its reliability was good. It wasn't amazing, but its reliability was good enough. It was not that far off having the same sort of like reliability as the Deltic. We are fast approaching a 125 mph zone. So we are in there. So as its initial name would very much have you believe, this is a Type 4, generates 2,700 horsepower. It is a fairly heavy thing. The loco weighs around 117 tons, I think it is. But yeah, it had the power, and its reputation for being like monstrously unreliable really sort of came about in the 70s, because with the arrival of the class 43, the Intercity 125, this train was no longer needed. It you know, it didn't have the speed of the Intercity 125, so its role as far as express passenger services was gone, and it got moved a long way from here. It got moved down south, initially on the Great Western main line and also in the southwestern lines. But the big problem was they kept on putting it on stopping routes. So this loco was constantly sort of, you know, going pretty short distances and then stopping for the next station. And that was where the reliability came in, because the way the train had been designed, it was a bit like an air-cooled engine. It needed to be moving, and ideally moving at a hefty rate for the cooling system to work. And that is not going to happen if you are stopping at every single station. And it's just, and it makes, you know, the problem even worse if every single station you're stopping at are all in like pretty close proximity to each other. So here we have, yeah, the class 43 there, the train that would replace this one. But for a, you know, wholly standard loco using nothing but standard parts, getting one that was capable of 100 mph plus, we're at 105 now, was a fantastic achievement. And yeah, the reliability issues were, well, they made it look far worse than it was. If it had been kept to, you know, the role that it was built for, it would have been fine. And you know, they needed to make just a few modifications to make it absolutely fine for its new role on the stopping routes, but they didn't do that, at least not straight away. So another 47. I think 105 may be us topped out. I mean, it is 5 mph higher than the operational max of this thing, so it's not bad. The fact that we can see the lights so clearly as it was approaching us certainly would suggest that yeah, it is somewhat gloomy out. Thankfully though, we still don't really need a cab light because I just cannot find the option for it. Now obviously with this thing being, you know, first built in 1967, this is not what you would call one of the you know, early diesels. I mean, this is 12 years after the modernisation plan, but nevertheless it's using 1960s technology. Now, okay, 1960s technology got man to the moon, so you know, it's not like, you know, technology back then was absolutely hopeless. But you know, we are talking nearly 60 years ago. There is no comparison between what was available then and what is available now. And yet, this thing is great. It really does, you know, absolutely fly. This 117. Actually, I think it might be a mere 114 tons. Not sure what this town is. Galgate. I assume that is the name of it, but I'm not familiar with it. It's more like a large village rather than a town. What we've got coming up here, it's a light engine, look like a 47. these are passing loops, yeah they are. Okay, we have a max speed reduction, and there's the alert for it. Now that signal was completely blank. I have no idea why, unless it was facing the other way. So let's get our speed down to 75. There's a Morpheus board warning there for 40. That is as we are approaching Lancaster, so this is our first stop. So we are fine for this 75 mph section, but yeah, our speed's going up because we're on a 1 in 100 downhill. Need to continue braking. There's this downhill section, which is now 1 in 99, is going to make it a bit awkward to slow down. I'm more interested in slowing down for the station as we are stopping there. That 40 mph speed limit that's coming up, we're going to be under that, I hope. Yellow, that's not a problem. I think that was a Class 87 that's just gone by. Slowed down way more than I really needed to. In fact, we can even speed up a little bit. Another 47 there. That looked like a 45 that just went by. Now surely we can get the entire train on this platform. This is Lancaster we're talking about. It's not a difficult one to you know, get everything on here. There we go, easy. Right, well I did open the doors. Right, what's the key for opening the doors here? I can never remember them. Whatever it is, doesn't seem to be doing very much. So yeah, let's say that stop is done. Let's get back underway. So no more stops now until Carlisle. I won't put it in the full throttle yet, we're only in a 40 mph section. Not for long, but for now we are. Once we rejoin the main line here, that's when we will be able to take us up to for us, full speed. Thought that bridge was bigger than that. Anyway, we were speeding for a few seconds, but we're now in the 110 mph zone. So for us, that's a max speed zone. We are entering a 125 mph zone. We're now in it. Doesn't really affect us much. That might have been an 86 as that one was doing freight runs. So we've got cars still going over the level crossing as we approach. I'd like to say that's not realistic, but yeah, it happens all too often. Top speed at 1.5 miles comes down to 110, does not affect us. Quite a short section before it goes back up to 125, but yeah, we've still yet to reach 3 figures, but we can treat that as if, yeah, it's just not there. Like a mixture of passing loops and a freight depot around here of some kind. I don't know which one. I don't know what this station is. There we are now, up to 3 figures. if we can get, still getting the overhead one. I'd like to see the trackside one get selected. We will try again a bit later. We still got 61.5 miles before the next stop at Carlisle. Noticed our speed was going down here on a 1 in 134 uphill, and let's face it, there is going to be no shortage of uphill sections around here, so yeah, we should be expecting things like this. Almost topped out again, currently at 104. There we are, 105, that is the max that we can do in this. It is still 5 mph above its max operational speed. Your BR would be far from thrilled to hear that I was doing 105 in it. Now on a uphill gradient again, 1 in 173, and it is resulting in yeah, our speed coming down. Look like an 87, especially with that many coaches. That must have been an 87. So we've got a few speed decreases, or speed changes anyway, coming along. 115 any second, then 105, then 110. The fact that we are going uphill means we don't have to take any action for any of those. still climbing, 1 in 192. Looks like that's going to get quite a bit steeper though in about half a mile. Yeah, this is not Shap that we are climbing up at the moment. We've not yet even reached Oxenholme yet. So 1.5 miles, we have a speed reduction down to 90. Let's see if we can coast down to that speed. On a 1 in 111, so it will certainly slow us down. Neutral section, which of course does not worry us at all. So yeah, no problems there with the getting the speed down. Yeah. It does have to be said, if you like you know, driving high speed trains in this game, this is absolutely a route that you want. This and the West Coast Main Line north as well. And this is a fantastic train to drive in this on this route as well. So this is Oxenholme Station. Another 87 there. We're now in a 95 zone. We are still going uphill, but it's now only 1 in 200, so we're accelerating quite nicely. However, it is now 1 in 130, and yeah, we're now losing speed as a result. This looks like, yeah, it's quite steep, and it's going on for quite a while, so this might be, yeah, taking us to Shap itself. sure what bridge that was. Well, that could have been that Dockeray viaduct. I'm guessing we must certainly be in Cumbria by now, because I mean, it looks very much like the Lake District here. Another 87. This 90 section that we're about to end up, we're losing so much speed that we really don't need to worry about it. We are gaining some now though, as we pass these passing loops. That was a 47. I'm soon going to have to ease off the throttle a bit here. We are still climbing. A 1 in 767 is not going to be causing us any problems. And the speed limit goes up to 100 and just over a mile. We're very glad to see that. That's some views. Okay, so entering the 100 zone, and now we can throttle up. We still can't max out, but we do have a 105 zone coming along. We can pretty much max out then. We are going downhill. I don't think it's going to help our acceleration so much that we could be speeding before we enter the 105 zone. Now entering it. Now we're in there, so I think now we're fine as far as speed goes, especially as we're soon climbing again. T-Bay area. I'm pretty sure there used to be a station here. Yeah, I think we just passed the site of it. So now on a 1 in 145, and that is causing our speed to drop. We are entering the 110 zone, but yeah, we can't accelerate. We're at full throttle, we're still losing speed. We're now on a 1 in 98. And it's got steeper still, it's now a 1 in 75. So this is definitely the climb up towards up Shap. This is really affecting our speed now. But I'm going to try something and see if using the sander is going to have any effect at all. Well, that's quite a resounding no. Absolutely no difference at all. Max speed decrease in a mile and a half to 80. We're going to be doing, I think, less than that by the time we get there. And we're already okay as far as that speed limit goes, despite the fact that we're at 100% throttle and we're still over a mile away from it. Fantastic scenery though. See, if I was a passenger on this train, I wouldn't give a monkeys about the fact that we were slowing down. It just gives me more time to admire this. But being the driver, I would rather not have to deal with this. The other problem that we will have, of course, is once we start going down the other side, we are going to have to sort of try and control our speed a bit, because we will end up doing over 105. And that's even if the speed limits will allow it. The speed limit is about to go up to 105 once we pass the Shap summit. Yeah, here we are at Shap Summit here. Used to be another station here. We have another 87 going past. We have a couple of 47s just standing there. So now we're on flat ground, but yeah, we've just gone over the crest. So we are on a 1 in 126 downhill. Yeah, we entered that a bit sooner than I thought. But now, because we are going downhill, it's now 1 in 125. We're going to be picking up quite a bit of speed. we will have to ease off on this acceleration at some point. So that looks like a power station of some kind. I think it might just be like a small sort of like relay station or something. In fact, the ground has levelled out, it's completely flat. But as we are starting to go downhill, we also have a speed decrease down to 95. That is going to be a bit of a headache. In fact, I've throttled down to try and lose speed, but yeah, because we are going downhill, it is, well, it's not going up. It did briefly, but it's not now, but we've got to try and bring it down a bit. There we go. Now, is it going to stay there? That's the big question, because I don't have an awful lot of leeway when I'm doing 95.7 if it starts going up. In fact, it has just gone down a touch. So there we are, we're in the 95 zone, but it's about to come down again to 80. We've really got to brake hard here. Yeah, our speed is going up here. So we're in the 80 zone now. I'll need to occasionally apply some brakes. Trying to keep the brakes like fairly light, but I just can't find that point where it will keep our speed at a constant. Start braking again. Now once we enter that 105 zone, that will be a big help. I mean, I will start powering up, but I don't want to take us right the way to 105 and then find we've just got to constantly keep doing controlled braking again. So I'll probably take it up to sort of 95, maybe 100. Okay, so we're entering that section. We're now in it. Here we go. Through another neutral section. So speed at 95. It really doesn't look like we are going to be gaining a huge amount though. So yeah, let's put it up again. So I have set us back to coasting once we reach 104. I'm going to do it earlier than that even, because we've got a 95 section coming up. Braking far too early for that, but we have a 75 section coming up as well. I'm not entirely sure what that 75 section there is for. It's quite the high Lowther viaduct. We're in the 95 section now. We do need to continue to okay, I think yeah, we're slowing down here because we're approaching Penrith. Yeah, there we are. Now, I was actually thinking of stopping there, but I mean, Carlisle is now just over 19 miles away, so yeah, we might as well carry on. Now, I think we can put some speed back on, because yeah, we've gone well down below 75. So here we are at Penrith station. It's on a fairly sort of tight curve, this station. We're very soon entering a 120 zone, and that's yeah, that'll be very welcome. Let's hope it lasts. Right, here we go. the speed limit goes up to 125 in just over a mile. But that is not going to affect us. So we are in the 125 zone. Doesn't last particularly long, a mile and a half it goes back down to 110. It still doesn't affect us any. Back in the 125 zone just as we hit 3 figures. Another glorious C125, legendary class 43. We are now maxed out at 105. Speed reduction in a mile and a half down to 100. Okay. See if we can coast that. Another 87. There's certainly been no shortage of them around here. Well, it looks like, yeah, we can coast it. We have another speed reduction down to 95, so we might as well carry on coasting for now. Carry On Coasting was one of the less successful of that film franchise. Okay, I thought these speed reductions were because we are getting closer to Carlisle. We're now just 6 miles from it. But no, the speed goes up again. Okay, we won't go full throttle. So here we are on the 95 zone. So now in the 110, I mean, we may as well throttle up. We are also going down the hill. We may even be able to reach our fastest that we have done on this route so far. I doubt we will get the chance to go any faster on the final section between Carlisle and Dumfries. So can we get up to 106? We're at 105. There we are, 106. Can we do 107? Well, I haven't got long to keep trying. There we are, 107. And we're at 108. And that's where I now have to start braking to get us down to, well, not just get us down to 75, we've got to get us down to 20 by that point there. Okay, so we're all right for the 75. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. So we're in the 75 section. If anything, yeah. braked a bit too much. Let's get a bit of speed up again. In the 20 mph section, we are on a 1 in 70 downhill, so yeah, we really got to watch our speed here. Okay, now it's flattened out. So yeah, here we are at Carlisle. So what will happen here is the number 2 driver will move us round, put us onto platform 7 facing the right way, and we will be getting underway for the final part to Dumfries at 14:30. So I've got 20 minutes to wait. You have no time at all because it's coming up right here. Well, here we are on platform 7. As you can see, it's got us a long way out, but well, yeah, we are right on the very edge of the platform, so yeah, maybe we should have been moved to a better platform, not one that's this short. Anyway, let's let those passengers who came here from Preston off, and we'll let everyone else on. We'll also get our windscreen wipers underway because yeah, it is pissing down here. Did tell you I thought the rain was coming, and yep, it certainly is. Just waiting for the rest of the passengers to get on. There they are. Okay, so we have 33.05 miles to go of our, what is it, 120, yeah, it's just over 124 miles total, this journey. So let's get it underway. Now, I am pretty certain I've never driven this part of this route before, so this is completely new to me. And incidentally, that first part of this journey, oh, it's just too slow with the yeah, getting the throttle down. But yeah, the first part of the journey, I got 2 speeding errors. Well, I've already picked up my third now. You know, yeah, that was not doing too well. This 87 stuck there waiting for me to get past. So yeah, when it tells us how well we did at the end of this, add 2 speeding errors to it. So we're now in a 60 mph section. Let's get some speed up. confident we are not going to reach 60 before we go past that 95 section. Because even though the acceleration on this thing is pretty good, the rain is going to affect it. So we're entering the 95 section now. And we're now in it. Past the very scenic sewage farm there. So although we are on the West Coast Main Line at the moment, we're not going to be staying on here, because I am pretty certain Dumfries is not on the actual West Coast Main Line itself. So in the 120 mph zone, we don't have to worry now about our acceleration. We're not going to be speeding, even if we were going downhill and beating our current max on this run of 108. It's 47. It's been a little while since any 47s have appeared in any of my videos. That looked like an 85 up there. I don't know what the fuck that was doing in this part of the country. But yeah, as I was saying, it's been a while since any 47s have appeared in any of my videos, by which I mean me driving them. Might have to do something about that if no one else requests them again. I mean, they are legendary locos. And okay, they do have a bit of a reputation of being boring. Fuck knows why, other than the fact that they were pretty much everywhere. But supreme reliability, considering that, you know, we're talking about a loco that was initially made in the 50s. Looks like a cement works there. Shame about the rain. It's probably going to restrict, or it's probably, you know, the views of some fantastic scenery. And it looks like we have a diversion coming up. This could actually be where we are coming off the West Coast Main Line. So we will certainly need to slow down. No idea what river that was that we just crossed. Oh, Esk Viaduct, that's a bit of a clue, I think. Admiralty Junction. That sounds like it should be somewhere in London. So Gretna Junction coming up. We've definitely got to start braking for that. This must be where we come off the West Coast main line, because obviously if we keep following this we're going to end up going to Glasgow, and we need to go in pretty much the opposite direction. So we are fine for the 50 mph limit. Still going to be increasing speed if we go there. So here we go. So from here on in, I have never been on this route before and I don't know what to expect. That 70 mph section that's coming up, I have a feeling that's the fastest speed we can do on this part. So yeah, this section is not electrified. And looks like it's single rail for a fair bit of it. There's the engine cutout that comes along. We now need to start throttling up again. So we have a speed increase to 80 coming up in about 1.3 miles. That's very welcome. I was not expecting that. There also seems to be a distinct lack of signals. We are going over AWS ramps, but there's no signals anywhere. None of them marked on the route display either. Approaching, we're in an 80-mile-an-hour section. Now we can throttle up. Oh, disused station there, no idea which one. Rig. Is that anything to do with Bonnie rig? even with just 14% throttle, our speed still increases. But not now. I think this is quite a large train for this particular line. I suspect, yeah, something like this would not normally be on this piece of track. This would be something more like a 159, 158, maybe 170, but certainly not a Class 50 locomotive. I'm not sure if the 159s actually ran up in Scotland. Every 159 I've seen has always had sort of Southern England liveries on them. So I don't know if anyone, yeah, anyone from Scotland, or actually anybody who knows, yeah, you can let us know. Did the 159s actually run in Scotland? Ah, we get the trackside view. Well, sort of. So we have Annan coming up. Just go straight through there. In the video I did where I showed the Class 20 that was requested by Stephen Jakes, who seems to have completely disappeared. Originally I was going to stop at Annan on that one, and I forget why I changed it, but I did. Kind of wish I hadn't actually. I wish I'd carried on to Annan. Well, at least we have, yeah, double lines when we were going through stations. So yeah, there is Annan Station, and Annan Town. Annan always looked like quite a nice town to me. And we actually get signals as well. So yeah, there's a downside more on this branch line than there is on the Braintree one. This double line actually carries on for a lot longer than I thought. I thought it was just going to be for that station. tiny little halt coming up here apparently. Right, not there. Unless it's a way to get to those buildings or something. I don't know. We're on a 1 in 190 downhill gradient. We're not gaining any speed. In fact, we are losing some, which is fine because we need to. 70 mph limit in just under a mile. I'd like to think we won't need the brake to get our speed down, but I'm not entirely confident of that. But I am now. There we go, we're fine. So yeah, in at the 70 zone. Doesn't last a hell of a long time. Soon be able to go up to 80. Yeah, we can throttle up now. We've dropped so far off the 70 mph speed. We're in the 80 zone. Another train up ahead. What train is this? Another 47. That must be either Ruthwell or Ruthwell station, as it was. Another disused one, I suspect. Another one that felt fucking Beeching's axe. One in 155 downhill. We are still gaining speed even with throttle at 0. Was about to throttle up then as we had dropped off a bit, but yeah, less than a mile and a half we are down to 70, so yes, let's carry on coasting here. Yeah, we're fine for the speed limit that's coming up. Pretty sure we'll just be coasting the rest of the way. Dumfries is now just over 2.5 miles away. Speed reduction to 45 in a mile and a half, or just over. Dumfries stations now appearing on the route display. What we've got coming up here. Was that a 58 again? Class 58's running up here. So this route could take us all the way to Stranraer Harbour, but oh, Dumfries is our final destination, so we're not going to be doing that one. Oh, that is another great run. Sure, we can get the entire train on this. It's quite a big station here. Yeah, no problem. So there we are. That was Preston to Dumfries via Carlisle in the class 50, and that was a fantastic run. I really did enjoy that one. It had everything. It had plenty of like really good fast sections where you could crank this thing up to its top speed, and then that last run through, like, you know, some great scenery. I mean, we had great scenery as well as we were going through the Lake District, but yeah, some fantastic scenery as we go through you know, Dumfries and Galloway, and yeah, I really did like that one. And the class 50 was a fantastic choice of loco for it as well. So one speeding error there, so that makes 3 speeding errors in total. Distance travelled was 123 miles. It is very nearly 124. But yeah, that was great. Really did enjoy that one. So there we go. That was Preston to Dumfries in the class 50. Yeah, great on that. So that is that video done, and we'll see you at the next one.